Does this sound familiar? You start the school year out fairly organized and put together, but somewhere along the way, your house descends into a swirling eddy of backpacks, clothes, homework, shoes, not to mention piles of unopened mail. So how can we beat the chaos? Andrew Mellen, best-selling author of Unstuff Your Life, is here with a few tips on how to get and stay organized this fall. Welcome, Andrew. Great to see you.
Likewise, thanks.
There's
Thanks for
a
having
lot
me.
of shifting going on in people's homes right now as they return from summer vacation. They have suitcases they need to unpack, and they're getting ready for school. How do we get this all together?
The easiest thing to do is assign a home for everything. I've created the organizational triangle, which is one home for everything, like with like, and something in, something out.
When you say home for everything, you mean a home for everybody's backpack, a home for everybody's keys.
A home for everybody's mobile phone, a home for everybody's tablet, so that it has one home and only one home. Everything is either in its home or you're using it. You'll be able to find anything in 30 seconds or less.
You see, this sounds brilliant, but it's hard enough for me to remember to do this. How do we get our 8 and 9 and 10-year-old kids to do this?
Well, first of all, you assign the home with them, so you don't assign it for them.
Right.
They pick out a place where they will remember something is. And I always say no tops for kids. So any barrier that you're going to put between them and the home for something is an obstacle that they are not going to go through. So you might like it tidier with a little lid over something, but if you just give them a vessel or a tub or something that's easy to hit, then they are much more likely to get it in there and put it there and keep it there.
I see. For instance, if their backpack home is on the back of their desk chair as opposed to in a drawer that they have to open.
Exactly.
That's a little bit easier.
And even more, if they can hang it on a hook when they first come in, hooks rather than hangers is a great solution for kids and also for adults. I mean, hangers take more time, and if you
hooks. I like that. So
Yeah.
where do you put all the hooks? In the entry hall, in the closets? Where do they go?
I would put it as close to the door as you can get it that is not unsightly. And again, you might prefer it to be in a closet, but if you can live with it in an entryway, it will be much easier for the little ones to hit if they just come in and they hang up their coat, hang up their backpack, and keep walking.
So make sure you have a row of kid-sized hooks,
Definitely,
right?
yeah.
So what about all of that mail? I know you have advice on that, because that just kills me. I look at it and I get nervous.
Sure, of course.
It just piles up and it's so much to deal with. You have a great, the first chapter is really good talking about mail.
Yeah, I suggest that people create a home for the mail. You don't have to open the mail every day. You can open it once a week and you will never miss a bill.
Right.
So you don't have to be obsessive about it. And I would suggest that you don't cherry pick out the fun stuff and then leave the stuff that you don't want, because you're never going to want to open it later any more than you did now. If you fold in the good stuff with the not so good stuff, you have a greater incentive when you sit down once a week to process the mail to actually do it.
So you do recommend when you have that once a week sit down that you kind of get through it all, though?
Oh yeah, and with the exception being catalogs, magazines, and junk mail, which can easily go either into a magazine holder or the recycle bin. There's no reason to hold on to the junk mail or catalogs. You don't need to rehearse shop, right? I mean.
Okay, Andrew, I love it. We've gotten in the door, we've put away our backpacks, we've hung up our coats on our pegs, we've dealt with the mail. Now meals.
Right.
How important is meal prepping?
I think it's essential to have a shopping list when you go shopping. Rather than, first of all, you never want to go shopping when you're hungry, and then you also want to make sure that you know that if you've planned your meals in advance, and it doesn't mean that there can't be spontaneity, that you can't decide, tonight's pizza night, we're not going to do what we plan to do. But still, if you have a roadmap for the week, it will be much easier to plan your meals, and then it makes it easier also at the end of dinner time to start to prep breakfast and lunch then, so that the morning is not so hectic. 80% of the parents say that once school starts up again, their mornings are so much more disorganized than they were during the summer, and this is a great way.
Yes, and do you also recommend laying the kids' clothes out the night before?
Definitely, as well as your own if you can.
So yes, I need to do that too. Now, how do you feel about to-do lists? Some people love them, some people hate them. What's your take?
I think to-do lists are a great way to get information out of your head and onto a piece of paper. I suggest don't have multiple to-do lists. Certainly I'm the same.
One master to-do list?
Yep.
Okay.
And don't fool yourself into thinking that the to-do list is a time management tool. It's just a way to get information out of the gerbil wheel of your brain and onto something that you can hold on to. Your calendar is how you're going to make appointments with yourself to get those things done. So you don't want to leave the house with a scrap of the back of an envelope or a Post-it thinking that that's how you're going to get through your day.
Right, that's just the beginning.
Exactly.
Andrew Mellen, thank you so much. Now I feel ready to tackle my apartment. Thank you so much for that.